I'd like to turn to you then here at the end, to Angela Vilkinson, Secretary General and CEO of the World Energy Council, to reflect on what we've just heard from the perspective of pragmatism and progress. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks. I might even throw in a bit of a woman's perspective for you at the same time. You can have 3 for 1. Thank you to Baku Energy Week for the honour of participating today. I have come from the 100th Centennial World Energy Congress. We've been knocking around for 100 years. We have rather a bigger picture and longer term view on how things are going. And I think yesterday was very clear from President Aliyev that pragmatism and progress, between them is the sweet spot that we're all aiming for. And I've heard today from all my colleagues how, in effect, we are all trilemma managers. We're all trying to balance security, affordability, and sustainability as we progress in this era of energy for people and planet. So we're at the midpoint between Kyoto and 2050. And the tough and uncomfortable news is that we've been very good at relative decarbonisation, but we've been really bad. We have not yet deepened the absolute decarbonisation. The thing we really have to grapple with is there is no such thing as a world energy system. There are systems. There is no such thing as the global energy transition. There are multiple transitions. Transitions into modern energy access. Transitions away from fossil fuels. There's no one-size-fits-all. We heard that yesterday. So what we did in the 1980s was we joined the dots between energy and sustainable development. We tried to provide the world with the equivalent of a GPS system. How do you know where you are in this journey? And how do you know how well you're doing? When everybody knows the direction of change, but the starting points are different, the pathways are different, how do we know how well we're doing in this increasing era of diversity, but also the need for some common action? So we brought forward the World Energy Trilemma over 20 years ago, and it now looks at how do we measure our performance. We manage what we measure. If we really want to be pragmatic and we don't want to be ideological, then we need to keep with measuring our progress. And I want to talk about managing performance. Now, what we're faced with is a phenomenal transformation, not just a technology transition. We have to think about how the use of energy is changing. Where it's being used is changing, not just the technologies that we have to supply energy. And we've become very bad at reconnecting the dots between use, the demand side of the equation, and the supply side of the equation. So I think we need to think, we need to think, how are we managing in the 2020s what I would call the turbulent times of transition, incredibly high uncertainties. We've heard about lots of crises. We measured a 12-fold increase in uncertainty last year. So we're all facing unprecedented uncertainties, the turbulent times of transition. And we have to make sure that the cooperation is pragmatic, but not just between governments and businesses, but across all levels of society. We've got to start moving this conversation of transition from Wall Street to Main Street. And we've got to think we're heading towards the transformational 30s, and we're going to get to the fit-for-purpose 40s. This is a journey that we're on. I've been visiting this region now and this country for 2 days. It's a rich storytelling region. But my sense is that most people on Main Street lack any story whatsoever of what this transition means for them. We energy leaders have done a lousy job in energy literacy. And that, for me, is the fundamental recognition of that, is the realistic hope that we will make a much better energy future for everybody.